Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a lot to talk about today on Sale on Air? But before we start anything, go ahead and hit that like button, just for the sake of it. Let's get straight into it, okay, you guys? Last night, the Denver Nuggets beat the Los Angeles Lakers, ended the series 4-1, beating them in 5, which is a gentleman's sweep. But there's a lot to unfold there's a lot that's about to happen in the offseason with the Los Angeles Lakers. It starts literally today because this quote came out from Darvin Ham saying, if you're coaching a team and one of your starters is like 10 games in a row just shitting the bed, what are you going to do? He all the way blatantly just threw D'Angelo Russell under the bus. Everyone's been talking about how he's been helter-skelter, off and on in the starting lineup, and that is his point guard. He just threw him under the bus in front of the masses. So this tells me all I need to know, that Darvin Ham is 99% sure, or 99% for certain going to be out of the head coaching position for Los Angeles Lakers, which then I think they're going to start looking into the direction of like a Phil Handy or someone of that nature. But I think Darvin Ham is definitely out. I think he is wanting out of the situation because it's also a lot to handle, man. Like, that's a lot of speculation on your back every single day, when you lose games. And also when Anthony Davis is not healthy, he got hit it was so awkward. Michael Porter Jr. hits his shoulder, and then that's in the third quarter with 10 minutes left in the game, by the way, 59-50 or 56-50, hits his shoulder, and automatically I got a stinger. I don't know, but then he was cooked for the rest of the game. So then they relied on only LeBron James, and LeBron can only do so much. LeBron did what he could do, but this is how the game ended, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and take a watch. I want to break down a few things here while we're watching this. Okay. Jamal Murray, by the way. Wow. Phenomenal. What the hell is Rui Hachimura doing? Like, in what world do you not sell out here and go for the ball? Because I believe Taurean Prince is right here guarding 2. He could play cat and mouse. There's no way you don't sell out here and you just allow the jump shot. Yeah, Taurean Prince is right there to sell out to KCP, and I believe there's one person in the corner. That just can't happen. That can't happen. Okay. Another thing. Jamal Murray. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and watch this jump shot go in because, for my Laker fans out there, I want you guys to relive this. Yes, sir. Light the beam. And this low-key might have been a foul. I ain't gonna lie. This low-key might have been a foul right there. Okay. Anywho, it don't matter. You lost. GG's in the chat. We'll get to that in a second. Hold on. My bad. But the Jamal Murray heroics, you guys, I want to talk about Jamal and say this. He's going to be known in history as one of the most unaccomplished NBA stars in terms of no All-NBAs, really, no All-Stars. Like, the accolades aren't there. So when it comes down to the Hall of Fame, and if he only has a ring or two, you feel what I'm saying? I don't know if necessarily he will make that push because of his accolades. That's kind of what the Hall of Fame is based on, right? But the eye test, though, 10 to 20 years down the line, when I'm able to show kids Jamal Murray and how good he actually was, aside from the accolades, he is special. Special, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think there's nothing that you can really say to refute that. He's proven to be a clutch player in the playoffs, proven to be a phenomenal player when healthy. He's still young, and he played yesterday, by the way, with a calf strain. I don't understand. I don't think I understand how calf strains necessarily work. That kind of correlates directly to the Achilles, and he had 32 points on a bad Achilles. Moving forward to LeBron James, now we get into this picture here. LeBron is expected to opt out of his contract with the Lakers and become a free agent this year. I think LeBron intends to opt out of his contract and become a free agent for the first time since 2018 via Windhorst, ESPN. Let's look at LeBron James' contract and then what he can opt into. He can opt into a $51 million contract next year. This tells me, or gives me the notion that either he's going to opt out and completely leave the Lakers, or he's going to opt out and try to restructure that contract so that they can sign more pieces for the next season to help them get a deeper playoff push and kind of lessen the load, off of LeBron James. Because what I think he's going to do there is he's going to restructure that contract, probably sign another 1-in-1 option, probably, let's say, worth, I think he'll take a pay cut and go 40, maybe 40 million. So 2-year, 80 million instead of $51 million. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I think he's gonna restructure a little bit to save some money on the back end so that they can go try to get some more players in this free agency and in the trade market for this off season. Do I think LeBron will leave LA though? Is the honest question, and honestly, I don't know. I think Bronny has a lot to do with it. There were rumors and reports saying that the Lakers would entertain they would entertain the option of drafting Bronny to keep LeBron there, which I think monetarily, financially is a smart decision because you keep Bron there and you bring Bronny, ticket sales through the roof. We've never seen an NBA player play with his son. And then I think that would be a farewell tour for LeBron. I think that's something LeBron would be like, I'm going to be 41 next year. I can see him doing a whole farewell tour with his son and just maximizing that and then walking off into the sunset, still averaging 25 and plus. You know what I'm saying? That way we don't see LeBron dwindle down and become a lesser man of a lesser version of himself than what we're used to seeing. So I think that's something that could very well happen. Moving forward, the Phoenix Suns. Okay. You trade CP3 for Bradley Beal. Didn't get better. I don't see how that trade necessarily even works when you have Brad, Book, KD. Someone's role is going to get diminished. And KD has been on record recently after the game saying that he felt like his offensive role diminished and he was a corner guy, which he's never really been in his career. That's alarming because you have KD under contract for a few more years here. So I think Frank Vogel is under hot water. But I want to give a round of applause and all respects to this boy, Anthony Edwards, right here. He is special, ladies and gentlemen. He's only 22 years old, by the way. Averaged 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals and blocks per game against the Phoenix Suns. Might I reiterate, he is 22 years old. He took this series personal. When I'm watching this series, I say, you know what? After seeing what happened last year with Denver and Minnesota, I wasn't too sure on how this next round will look between Denver and Minnesota. But I'll tell you this dude, Anthony Edwards right here, he's making a case, recency bias included, to be the best 2-guard in the league. For the past 2 years, it's been Devin Booker. Like the debate has been really just Devin Booker, and now Anthony Edwards has came full-fledged, and I mean, boy, Lord have mercy. His team is definitely, I would say, tailored better for him to be successful, of course, because you have a good point guard in Mike Conley who's not ball dominant, and then, he gets to just focus on scoring, and he plays defense, by the way. He's a great two-way player. You have the sixth man of the year, Naz Reid, coming off the bench. You have Cat who can pick and pop, spread the floor out. And you got Gobert who's down there doing the dirty work, rim protection, and getting rebounds. So the team is orchestrated very well for Anthony Edwards to succeed, but you still got to make shots and make plays, and Ant-Man is something special. I call him Anthony Michael Jordan Edwards because that's kind of what he resembles. And if you watch these clips right here, you don't see a little bit of MJ. Some people said they see a little bit of D-Wade, Flash, Prime D-Wade. And the more I watch it, you can kind of see it. But I see a mix of D-Wade. I see a mix of Michael Jordan. And that dude right there, brother, is special. Let's move forward to the future, though, of the Phoenix Suns. Okay? They have to pay $150 million for 3 players next season. For Beal, Book, and KD. $150 million for 3 players. I think a total of all guaranteed contracts for next season, I think they're going to be touching $194 million in guaranteed contracts right now. They are over the salary cap, which next season is going to be $141 million. And then the second apron on top of that is 189. They're already over the second apron for the second season again. So they're at 194, which means if you're over the second apron, correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys know, I've done a little bit of research, so I could be wrong here. But I think that when you're over the second apron, you can only get players in the free agency market, or you can only sign players to minimum contracts, which is about $1.1 million. So you're not going to really get too much value out there in the market. Your team's pretty much going to stay exactly the same unless you make a huge trade here with one of these 3 guys. But also the thing that with the Bradley Beal, the kicker, is that he has to approve any trades because that was in his contract in Washington, and they got the Washington contract. So he's getting $50 million next year. If you want to trade Bradley Beal, he has to approve the trade. So the Phoenix Suns are kind of in a sticky situation here because now they're probably going to have to replace a head coach yet again. I think they should have just kept Monty Williams. I think they should have kept CP3. They were in shambles. There was no point in time where I was watching that series and I said, you know what? The Phoenix Suns are going to win a game. And I'm being so serious. Like, Devin Booker had 50 last game, 50 in an elimination game, and I still was not confident that they were going to win that game specifically. It's insane. But Phoenix Suns, I hope you guys can figure it out because that contract situation is something serious. Now, I've gone on record to say this. Kyrie Irving is the most offensively skilled NBA player that I've ever seen in my life. Okay? I'm going to take it one step further, and I'm going to say this. Kyrie Irving is the best offensive player I've ever seen in my life. 6'1", pushing 6'2" in shoes. Let's watch this clip right here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody try to compare this to Kobe Bryant, but I said, no. Kyrie's different. He's 6'1", 6'2" with shoes on. This is a Kyrie-esque play, not a Kobe-esque play. Enjoy, because this was freaking phenomenal. Look at the hang time, slow motion on 3 people. I mean, do you understand how crazy that is? Do y'all really understand what you guys like? That is insanity. Wow. Now y'all see why he's one of my favorite players of all time. Top 3 in my personal favorite players of all time to watch. The eye test for him is spectacular. The efficiency, by the way. The reason why I say he's one of the best offensive players I've ever seen, but now I'm saying he's the best offensive player I've ever seen. Everybody's like, well, you didn't watch enough of MJ and Kobe. You didn't. Yeah, I did. I watched plenty. I've never seen a guard this size with the full package: post game, mid range, floater, 3-ball, finishing at the rim. You name it, off the dribble, catch and shoot. This would be his second season in the 50-40-90 club, by the way. His second season in the 50-40-90 club, by the way. Averaging 26, 5, and 5 with Luka Doncic, who's a ball-dominant player, by the way. This dude's special. And if you think I'm just talking out my A, go watch some highlights. Go watch some film. Go actually get synergy and watch straight Kyrie film all day. I promise you, it changed your mind. Bro is special, man. And I can't wait till he gets the flowers that he deserves because he deserves it tenfold. Yeah, bro. Like there's nothing like that. I've never seen nothing like that. The best offensive player in history, in my humble opinion. The Celtics are without Kristaps Porzingis for I think they haven't even disclosed how many days or weeks or the time that he's out for. But yesterday in the game, this is what happened. Didn't look too good. It was kind of a no contact injury. He did twist his ankle before this, but it was the opposite ankle, I think. He's limping. It looks like he's laboring the right leg. So in the play before that, earlier he twisted his left ankle. This one looked like a no contact on the right leg after the push off, which is very alarming. I just pray and hope that it's not an Achilles injury, because that's one of the worst injuries in basketball, ladies and gentlemen. But I will say this, though. Do I think the Boston Celtics take a step back without Porzingis in this series? No. Do I think they take a step back in the next series where they potentially play the Orlando Magic or Cleveland Cavaliers? No. But I will say, if Kristaps is not available for if they play the Knicks it's looking like the Pacers, right? Against the Pacers, they're fine without him. But I think against the Knicks, they're going to need Porzingis, I think, for that matchup. But I think they'll be fine without him against Miami, Orlando, or Cleveland, and the Pacers. But against the Knicks, I would like to see Porzingis there for that series, for sure. Speaking of the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson is that dude. He is that dude. Do y'all remember earlier in the year when Coach Becky Hammond, I believe that's how you say her last name, was on ESPN saying the Knicks don't have a guy. They don't have a dude. They don't have a 1A dude. Kendrick Perkins goes and says, Jalen Brunson's that guy. She's like, he's too small. They got 3-1 on the Philadelphia 76ers right now. On the back of Jalen Brunson, by the way. No Julius Randle. What can we say now? I guess he went to see him finish the series, of course. They still have to win one more game, which is a heavy task when you're going against a team who's facing elimination. But from the looks of it, he's a 1A guy to me. Draymond Green actually had this to say as well. So we're going to listen to this and see what he had to say about Jalen Brunson.
The conundrum that I've been kind of caught in dealing with on Jalen Brunson, jury's still out. And again, I got nothing but love and respect for Jalen Brunson and love his game and respect his game. But I'm talking about to go to the promised land. Can he be your best player to go to the promised land? I don't know. But damn, is he balling. He doing it. Got to give him his credit.
You know what? I'll say this. That's actually not a super bad take by Draymond. And I'll say because we haven't seen enough of Jalen Brunson, right, in these big moments. This series, for sure, he's playing phenomenal. But his style of play, will that win you an NBA championship? Kind of how they say about Luka Doncic and things of that nature. But with Jalen Brunson, it's tough because he's going to run into the juggernaut of the Celtics. And the Celtics are going to take away what he likes to do best. So then someone else is going to have to beat you. You know, have a Julius Randle. But while they're trying to take everything away, can Jalen Brunson still be successful in his scoring role and facilitating role? I don't know. It's going to be tough to see that. So I kind of see where Draymond can be coming from on that side of things. But if we're watching and we're just basing it off of what we're seeing right now, it's hard not to be sold on Jalen Brunson for right now. I think we have to see for 2 full series, right? So that next series, they play the winner of the Pacers and the Bucks. That would be a huge test for him as well. Going into that second round, now you have all your playoff film and people can see you. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody knows who the go-to guys are. It's nothing new in the playoffs. Now it's just like whose team is better, whose team can play chess better, who can make better adjustments, right? The second round is going to be tougher, I think, for him. And I think that's what we're going to see if he can prevail and lead his team to the promised land, because then you're going to get to the Boston Celtics, who are a juggernaut. So it's going to be something difficult. If he could beat the Sixers, the Pacers, or Bucks, and then beat the Celtics, that might be one of the greatest playoff runs we've seen in a minute. So, yeah. Now, my last thing I want to talk about here is my Nuggets versus T-Wolves predictions. This series right here is interesting. Last year, the Nuggets beat the T-Wolves in 5. But the T-Wolves are a completely different team. I feel like they have a completely different aura, completely different confidence, completely different team chemistry, right? They returned basically their whole team back, okay? Anthony Edwards has took that next leap in which they were hoping for. They banked on that, and he has done that. And he's only 22 years old, by the way. Anthony Edwards wants all smoke. He's not ducking anything. He's verbal about it too, which is special because now we get to see Jamal Murray and Ant-Man go at it. We get to see Jokic and Cat go at it, although I think Jokic can get the best of Cat. But Cat, arguably statistically the best big man shooter in NBA history, he stretches that floor out immensely. So if he's stretching the floor out, Minnesota is surrounded with shooters, except for Gobert. So it depends on how they use Gobert in this series, because if they can get Gobert to occupy and screen and get that paint wide open, Ant-Man's going to feast because he's going to get paint touches and kick to his shooters, and they're going to knock it down. I think this is going to be a 7-game series. I think they're going to be a 7-game series, and I would not be surprised if the Timberwolves won in 7. Only because KCP is a little banged up. Reggie Jackson's a little banged up. Jamal Murray's messing with a calf injury that just it doesn't go away after 2 or 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be laboring that. It's just going to be who can be the healthiest and who is the most available. I think that's going to be the huge factor here. And I think Minnesota has that slight edge. But the Nuggets are the defending champions, and they do know how to win at a high level. So it's going to be a phenomenal series. I'm excited for this. Yeah, let me know in the comments below who you guys have winning this series, Nuggets and T-Wolves. This is officially our first second-round series that we have. The Pelicans got swept. I repeat, the Pelicans got swept. 6-0 against the Kings. Whenever they play us, they want to play like they're the Monstars and the Dream Team and then get swept by OKC. I guarantee every dollar that I have that we wouldn't have got swept. We would have at least got 2 games. Factuals. But the freaking Pelicans just want to gatekeep and ruin everything. Now, the Lakers, per Darvin Ham, should have ducked that fade and tried to play the OKC first round. I don't know why they just took that Denver. I get it though. You ain't afraid of no smoke, but that smoke might have lost people their job, man. I'm just saying. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to Still On Air. This will do it for me today. Let me know how you guys like the topics on screen. I kind of want to give it an actual sports talk show feel. So let me know what you guys think, man. If you guys like what you see and all that, like what you hear, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new, man. Appreciate you guys. Sayonara. Have a good one. Light the beam. Until next season, kind of.